Today's video is all about ordering fractions. Okay, so when ordering fractions, you're going to take the knowledge that you have and determine if the original factor will be smaller or larger after multiplying your second factor. Keep in mind your multiplication rule. Any number multiplied 1 is equal to that number. So basically, we're going to have an expression, and we're going to have two fractions, and you're going to be checking to see if your answer of those two fractions is going to be less than or greater than the first fraction. All right, so you'll see in just 1 minute. All right, so first of all, we're just going to order these fractions from greatest to least. So these all have common denominators, which makes it really easy to order. So we're going to just look at the numerators. Think about why we're just looking at the numerators here. Well, all the denominators are the same, so that means we all have the same number of parts. So we're just looking at the fraction, the numerator on the top, to see which one is the greatest. Well, I know that 5 is the greatest number here, so 5/7 would probably be the greatest. Then we would go down to 4/7, 3/7, and 1/7. Order these from greatest to least. So pause the video and order these from greatest to least. All right, so I have here the order from greatest to least. You can compare yours to mine. First we have 9/8, that's the greatest, 5/8, 4/8, and then 3/8. All right, so here's what we were talking about before. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out which one of these expressions is greater than 17. So we know here that 17 is our original factor. We have 17 multiplied by three different fractions. First we have 3/8, we have 9/8, and we have 12/8. What we have to figure out is which one of these is going to be greater than 17. All right, so yesterday we learned two rules about scaling fractions and comparing them. And I've kind of shortened those two rules up here. You should have them in your notebook already. But basically those two rules said that a factor times a fraction less than 1 will give you a smaller product. A factor times a fraction greater than 1 will give you a larger product. We're going to use our knowledge of that we just learned, and we are going to apply that to this expression right here. We're going to figure out which of these three expressions are going to give us a product that is greater than 17. And 17 is our original factor here. We're going to do that without actually solving any of the problems, just using our rules that we learned. So, first of all, a factor times a fraction less than 1 is going to give me a smaller product. I know right away that I don't want a smaller product because the question is asking me which one is greater than 17. So my first expression here, 17 times 3/8. 3/8 is a fraction less than 1, so that's not what I'm looking for. That's going to give me a product less than 17. Now, the other two, it tells me that a fraction greater than 1 will give me a larger product. So 9/8 is greater than 1, and 12/8 is also greater than 1. So these two expressions are going to give me a larger product greater than 17. So the two expressions that I would choose would be 17 times 9/8 and 17 times 12/8. All right, so using the same rules that you just we're using, we're going to order these from least to greatest. So think about it for a second. Which of these is going to give you a smaller product and which of these is going to give you a larger product? Pause the video and try to figure this one out. All right, so hopefully you've paused the video and figured this one out. I have the correct answer written right here, least to greatest. Let me show you how I figured this one out. So I know my two rules. A factor times a fraction less than 1 will give me smaller, and a factor times a fraction greater than 1 will give me larger. My factor in these three problems is 310. So that means that when I'm multiplying them by each of these fractions, I need to see which one is going to be greater and which one is going to be smaller. All right, so I'm looking at my three fractions, or my three expressions here. And I know that 8/8 is equal to 1. So if I multiplied 1 times 3/10, I know that I would get still 3/10. 4/7 times 3/10. Well, 4/7 is a fraction less than 1. So a fraction less than 1 is going to give me something smaller than 3/10. And then 1 and 1/6 is going to be a fraction greater than 1, which means that it's going to give me an answer larger than 3/10. So if I'm ordering them from least to greatest, this one is going to be the smallest. This one is going to give me the same answer, so it's going to stay in the middle. And this is going to give me a larger answer, so that's going to be the greatest. Okay, so using the same rules that we have been using all along, pause the video and order these from greatest to least. Okay, so I have ordered these from greatest to least. Go ahead and compare your answers to mine. I know that multiplying 4 and 5/9 times 10/10 is going to give me an answer that is the same, because 10/10 is 1. So 4 and 5/9 times 1 is the same thing. 4 and 5/9 times 6 is going to give me an answer that is greater, because the 6 is greater than 1. And 4 and 5/9 times 1/2 is going to give me a smaller answer, because multiplying by a number less than 1 is going to give me a smaller product. So this one multiplied times 6 is going to give me the greatest. Then this one gives me the same answer. And then this one gives me the least, or the smallest answer. Great job! You have finished ordering fractions. Now you are ready to go on Canvas and take the quiz. Good luck!